Hey guys, I'm Katie Room from Periapsis Press. I'm not doing a episode of The Signal or anything today. I don't have any interesting articles that I thought would be fun to discuss, but I have a ton of stuff to open. So I thought I would share that with you guys. I've done these kinds of videos twice before where I buy $100 worth of indie books, physical books that I have already reviewed on my website. Usually I read them when in an electronic format. And so this is one, being able to hold something in front of you guys and say, hey, buy this. And two, kind of putting my money where my mouth is, because a lot of those books were sent to me by authors. I always put a disclaimer at the top of the review, but I really do think they're good books. Thank you for joining me. Let's say hi to the chat. Brian McCoppin, he mentions the base sale show. There we go. Where everything was 99 cents or free, but those were ebooks. So I could have bought 100 ebooks. I didn't this time. I have definitely spent a lot on the base sale in past years. This year, I didn't buy anything because I already have a stack of books, like metaphorical stack. I have a very, very large backlog on my Kindle I need to read. But I'm making progress on that, slowly but surely. Hi to Resident One and Patrick. Thank you. I appreciate you. Sooner or later, I'll make t-shirts. Hi to Michael Kane. He sent me something, so I will be unboxing that today as well. Hi to William Jeffrey Rankin. And Eric, hi. Thank you guys so much for coming. All right. I will do the stuff people have sent me first. And since Michael Kane is in the chat, I'll get this one from him first. And I scratch things out, so hopefully as I throw boxes around here, I won't be, that does not feel like, I won't be doxing anybody. That still doesn't feel like. Is it taped on the inside? No, it's stickies. Internet is a bit choppy. Oh, bummer. Is anybody else having trouble? Let me just double check that I'm on the right. I'm on the. Okay, I'm going to switch my internet thing, see if that helps. Let me know. Okay. Interesting. Let me know if that fixed it, because I shouldn't be having problems anymore. The one fix that I know how to do has been done. So, all right. Oh, they wrapped them in plastic, but then it's also in a brown package, which I love. This picture. Yeah. There's two. Thank you. I am not reading it aloud because, one, I don't know what's in it yet, and two, I'm really, really awful at reading people's handwriting. So enjoy at your leisure. You're under no obligation to do formal reviews, though I certainly wouldn't say no. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Put that back in the envelope. Oh! Okay. It spilled the other way, so my laptop is safe. But I just grabbed, and I don't think I got cut at all. I just grabbed my knife with my bare hand. Anyway, Michael Kane attests that his handwriting is terrible, so I feel justified. Yikes. I'm going to have to go through my scrapbooking stuff and make sure that's all my scrapbooking papers down there. I don't think any, it's just all over the floor. I'm kind of a klutz. If I had died, you'd have seen it. Action-packed episode. Sorry. So these were proofs. They may or may not reflect the final product. I'm going to angle the knife away from myself that you would get when you order them. Wow, look at this. Okay. So this is After Moses. This is the one that I've reviewed already on my site. I love this cover so much. I think it captures very well what to expect. This is a Western sci-fi. Michael Kane says, I think the ones you got are pretty solid. One or two tiny fixes, but no one would see them on the street. All right. Should we make fun of him for misspelling stream? So this is a hardcover with a dust jacket. Nobody tell ION cap. Very nice. Interior is off-white. Small margins. Here's a chapter heading. You can kind of see the like historic clip snippet is laid out just slightly different. There's the actual start of the chapter. Very nice, very nice. So hi to Wordsmith Wentworth and to the Free Narnian and the Ultimate Kahuna. Thank you guys so much for coming. And then this is the second one, After Moses Prodigal. Oh, I haven't read this one yet. It looks gorgeous. So I'm excited. And just look at them next to each other. Put them right in order. Just looks fantastic. Hefty. Can't have that in an ebook. I have no idea if these are. After Moses, Virtus and Wormwood. You guys, look at these. Oh, they're so cool. For people who are just joining us, these are not part of the $100 that I spent. These were sent to me by Michael Kane, and I've reviewed the first one on my website already. So I definitely recommend checking that one out. And if they appeal to you or they look cool, which I think they do, definitely grab. Okay, Wormwood is 3 and Virtus is 4. It's so heavy. Something pleasing about that. And just look at that. Look at them all lined up. And they're all pretty similar width. This one's maybe a little skinnier. But like, it's just very, very appealing. Like, thank you so much. Oh. Ultimate Kahuna, yes. Yep. Those are indies. Yeah. Yep. Hardcovers. I really enjoy hardcovers. You'll see that I decided to go hardcover with a couple of the ones that I got for the actual haul. It eats into the budget for sure. Like, you can't quite get as many indies, but I just like hardcover, so I tend to go that way when I can, unless I feel like the hardcover is too dramatically more expensive, which sometimes pricing is weird like that. Some hardcovers are harder to read. Yes. Yep. They look good on the shelf. Yeah. Okay. I was also this stuff on my way here. Sent this by, let's double check my inbox is full of stuff about the Christmas anthology. So J.Ishiro Finney sent me this. And I haven't read it yet. He sent me this as a review copy, so what am I doing? A good way to kill myself. Now this is Scars. I've seen this cover floating around for a while now, so I'm excited to give it a try. Matte. Heroes come in all sizes. That alone, I'm already like, yes, let's read. Very cool. So, short little book. Text is big on this copy. I'm not sure if this is there's a chapter heading. Yeah. So, keep an eye out. If this looks interesting to you, definitely go grab it. Looks like it's not too big of an investment time-wise anyway. I'm super excited to give it a shot. It's got a endorsement by David J. West on the back, so that's fun. Yeah. All right. I wanted to show you guys that. So I always want to show when somebody sends me something that I can show, right? It's fun. No, you're not a baby. When text is really small, it can be really intimidating. And you almost have this feeling of like closeness, of being encroached on. It's not always a bad thing to have a lot of text on the page. I mean, you're going to save on paper then, I suppose, as an author, but as a reader, takes some of the pressure off to have a little more white space on the page. Yeah, I think it's a neat cover too. Yeah. Yeah, a solid wall. Yep. Yeah, yes. Okay. This is the stuff that I bought. This is all stuff that I've already reviewed. Amazon sent me 3 boxes like this for books that I ordered all at the same time and arrived all at the same time. One of them was in my mailbox. The other 3 were on the porch. All right. I guess only one would fit in the mailbox, right? I couldn't bring them all up there. Whatever. And I totally forgot to do I usually have maybe I can get to it real quick. I usually have slides. I totally forgot to pull them up. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. I love a good book box day. Yes. It's like Christmas. I like brown for boxes. It just feels authentic. Let's see. Just see. This crap. Okay. See if I can do this without cutting my books. These 2 are light and this one's heavier, so this one must have the hardcover in it. All right. Oh, very, very efficient and effective packaging. I have not been very impressed with Amazon packaging lately. Okay, let me see if I can find. This is not super efficient of me not to have this planned. I usually keep this updated. I don't have this one. New plan. Bum, 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 bum. Maybe there wasn't on fire. That's true. Or wet. Let's go this one and let's do like that so you can see. Since what's on my screen is less important. Gosh. Okay. This is my reviews page. And if you are just wanting to see what I've reviewed without any spoilers, This is how you do it. This is all the books I've reviewed. Oh, so many beautiful covers. Now, go back up. This one is the one that I have here today. Werecats Emergent by Mark J. Engels. He just released or will be releasing the sequel. So that's exciting. A unique take on the concept of were creatures that delivers a fast-paced excitement, and a clever urban fantasy world. Yeah. There. It's a fun cover. Matte. And the reason that I don't like the matte covers, and I don't know if you guys can see this, is yeah, I can't see it. Oh, there we go. You can kind of see on her pants. Wherever there's a dark swath of color, if you get even the tiniest scrape or scratch, it takes that matte coating off and it's shiny. So if you have a dark cover, keep that in mind if you want to go matte. Also, I don't like the way that matte feels, but that is not to say that you shouldn't buy it. This is a good book. Very, very pleased to have this. Off-white print paper. There's a chapter heading. Oh, it's a really weird texture. It's like it pulls at your skin. And see, some people love it, and I can't get it. I don't understand it. I guess everybody's different. Calvin Gulata, what about dragons? I love them, but what about them? Obviously, it's a book. You gotta make sure it doesn't smell weird. You never know. Okay. Get started. Thanks. Okay, this is one that I did a while ago. Where are you? There. Let Sleeping Gods Lie. A weird Western fantasy combining the thrills of the California frontier with the chills of cosmic horror. I like the cover on this one too. Oh, got it. The matte also, yes, it's because of that stickiness. And I mean, also because there's more surface area for dust, but they've scratched it going in. Daggone. I could feel it. Couldn't see it, but I felt it. So there's the glossy. And the thing about glossy is that when there's a smudge or a scratch or a fingerprint, that can show up too. Right? I like glossy. I think it looks cleaner too. I think it feels cleaner. Sorry. Don't trust a book that smells weird. William Jeffrey Rankin backs me up here. This is a good one. So this one, we were talking about space This one has a lot of space. This is like a double-spaced read here. Lots of space. Off-white printing. Got the heading on every page, but I mean, who's counting? Yeah. Nice. This is tall. This is the tall size. I feel like most trad books these days are this height. I don't know what height that is. 7? Maybe. I don't mind. It's just the tall books in hardcover barely fit on my shelf up there. Cowboys and Cthulhu. Book 1. So yeah, that's a good one. Definitely recommend. Probably 6x9. I don't know. So, see, now that doesn't feel as wide as a photograph to me. This one does. Is this the one you were talking about? It's probably the one. Or maybe it's under and I'm also famously bad at estimation, so David gives me a hard time about it all the time. There are smells that books have that you're like, yes, these smells belong. And then there's smells that are weird, right? And you're like there's an okay musty book smell, and then there's like a not okay musty book smell, and then there's like booze and cigarettes. William Jeffrey Rankin says he's done both matte and glossy, and both were okay. Okay, this one, yeah, like I don't have a problem with it. I just have a visceral reaction to the texture of matte. This one is a beloved cover, The Governess of Greenmere by Paul Leon. Distinctly English feeling Gothic fantasy novella featuring a good dog, fallen angels, and Merlin. Paul Leon does a lot of stuff that is set in like biblical Israel, like New Testament, I think, or like post. Like he's done several short stories collections in that. This one is a novella that is set in Europe, and he did a short story collection in a similar vein. I think he's done a couple of short story collections. See, I haven't read them all. Now I'm forgetting for sure. But this one was fun. Definitely a good read. Very like it felt very like Gothic and combined a lot of fun elements. Here's a really good example. Let's see if I can catch this one in the light. There. This is a matte cover. Real bummer. At least it's not on the front. I just love her shadow. There, I think that's really cool. Gives a sense of it. White paper. This is the first one with white. It's also the tall size. See if I can find a chapter heading. Looks nice. He's got the start of the chapters right, even though he doesn't have those big letters. You know, a lot of people have the first sentence in their chapter indented, when actually it's supposed to be just flush, just like that. And people, when they do the big letters, then they always get it right. Very nice. And again, all of these I've already recommended. And so I encourage you guys to check them out. Okay, white paper for sci-fi, cream or off-white for fantasy. I can see that. Kind of a vibe to them, sure. What is this? What are you guys talking about? Oh, I see. Okay, next one. This is a pretty recent one for me. I need to get a better image for my website of the cover. And I've seen a couple different versions of his cover online. This is the actual one that he has on the book. The Garden Maze, a dark fairy tale novella featuring a dapper rabbit with a jaded personality, evil wooden puppets, and carnivorous roses. That one. I keep thinking if I hold them over here, they won't be behind it, but it's the opposite way. Okay. This one was fun. I liked the characters. Oh, it's got a very subtle crease. Oh, bummer. And this is the problem with, and it's like a minor thing, right? There's always minor things with Amazon printing. It's like you can't, as an author, do anything to control there's no quality control for cover issues. So this is by Isaac Anderson. Anyway, it's kind of fun. Very initially I thought, ooh, like Dark Alice in Wonderland, but then it struck me that it was much more Oz-like, with kind of weird encounters, and not everybody is. I mean, pretty much everybody is out to get them in this, but it has a fairy tale feel without the sort of modern fairy tale subversion at the end. It still felt like there were heroes and there were like good guy fight bad guy type situation. Yeah, I recommend that one as well. That one is gloss. Okay, last one in this little box is, oh, come on. There we go. William Jeffrey Rankins, Sherlock Holmes, and Carnegie, The Black Beast of Ipswich. A compelling occult detective story that features two classic detectives, cursed remains, and thrilling adventure. This is fun. I enjoyed this one. This is the second book by Rankin that I've reviewed. I also reviewed Invocations of the Submortal. That was the one that I suggested that we read for the book club, but guys all voted for the other one. I'm just kidding. I'm really excited. Sooner or later, I will be unboxing that. That's in here. I forgot about that. he's done several of these. Carnegie, not Sherlock Holmes and Carnegie, just Carnegie. So if this one appeals to you, there's more. I talked a lot in my review about sort of this one and Sherlock Holmes and the one about the dog. You guys know which one I'm talking about. But because this one, like the horror is actually supernatural, it was just a fun twist, bit different. So this one has off-white paper. Chapters are integrated, not set apart, but there are parts that are, I keep bumping my mic, sorry. Parts that are set apart. Hound of the Baskervilles, thank you. Thank you. Just watched the Jeremy Brett version of that. That was fun. Brett is very, very swiftly becoming my favorite Sherlock Holmes actor. I remember sitting in my grandparents' living room watching that on TV because they watched old people television, right? And I'm sure it was MeTV or some and just thinking, this is the most boring show in the world. Why would you subject yourself to this? And I loved Sherlock when it came out, the BBC Sherlock. And then by season 3, I just had this very epic disdain for the whole thing. Frustrated, right? They ham-fisted it. It's about when I lost taste for BBC's Doctor Who as well. And now I'm watching Jeremy Brett going, yes, this is how Sherlock Holmes is supposed to be adapted. It's not all chasing people. It's a lot of talking. You're supposed to be listening. I probably would benefit from branching out more. Season 3 became nonsensical. Thank you. By season 3, it completely undeniable that Sherlock was, kind of like the Moon Girl conversation, right? Where it's like, these people don't know how to write smart people. They just write them into situations where everyone around them is dumb. And then they are the ones that come to the right conclusion. And I was getting tired of that. Plus, he was sort of a jerk all the time. And it was funny at first. And then it became like, okay, is there any kind of other humor you guys know? Right? So, yeah, Moffat, like, he had great one-off ideas. Like the Blink episode. That was him, I'm pretty sure. It's been a while. Maybe it wasn't. But like, as soon as you put him in charge of any like long-term arcs, things fell apart. Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. Back in reference to this, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it Don't Blink or is it just Blink? So I thought it was. Yeah. It's called Blink, but it's like Don't Blink is the. Yes, you're correct. Don't Blink. Yeah. Yep. She was when Clara was the one that was the most irritating for me. For David, it was the redhead. Um, I found Clara more irritating than her. Moffat likes to do a montage like that will make the plot make sense. Yeah, no. Yes, you're right. Was that Doctor Who? Look that up. No, it was just the movie. Yeah, psychological horror film. Yep, yep. They just can't. As soon as anything has to be hyped up, right? It's like, oh, well. It should have ended a lot sooner than it did. I have some books about Doctor Who that I haven't read. I bought them at the same time that I got a lot of my Tolkien stuff. I should crack those open and just there they are. Because I'm pretty sure they're pre the new stuff. I should just see if there's anything that sparks my interest there. I got 3 more boxes here, guys. I gotta keep moving. Okay, the only thing in here is Hydra's Wake. I got the hardcover. It's a matte hardcover. Actually looks pretty good. One flaw on the front cover. Look at this cover. That look awesome. This is the one that I haven't read yet. I bought it so that I could read it for the book club, which we have not chosen a date for yet. Will probably be sometime in October. Off-white printing. There's a chapter heading. Just another page. If you guys haven't done the book club with us yet, you totally should. It's a lot of fun. Royce and I had a bit of a tiff in the last episode, which was about Razor Fist's The Long Moonlight book. That was a lot of fun. I had fun. He kept apologizing for fighting with me. Like, no, it's totally fine, right? Like, everybody who knows me in real life, as soon as I start saying anything that they disagree with about books, they just shut up because they know that I'm like, no, I want to talk about it, right? I really enjoy talking about books and I don't mind having different opinions. So I'm excited to talk about stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to look into this. John recommended this one, but because he just hosted, I will be hosting the discussion on my channel. It will not be December. I'm way too busy. I'm always way too busy in December. It can't be November either, because November is going to be when I'm trying to get ready the Christmas anthology, right? So This is true. This is a good summation of that conversation. Most shows should have ended earlier than they did. Except for Firefly, I feel like that one ended just fine. Got exactly the amount I needed out of that. You wish there was more, and then you think about it and you're like, if they tried to make more, they'd just ruin it. And you know it's true. I think this looks cool. Let me just take a peek here. Actual image of the cover inside. That's fun. Cover designed by Ivan Zanchetta and bookcoversart.com. Worth it. Looks great. Looks fantastic. Just looks like adventure, you know? And airship, that is a hint right away as to at least a piece of the setting, what it's going to be like. Very exciting. We should have a stream together. I liked Serenity. It felt rushed. And I felt like Wash's death was for feels and less for, I don't know. I just hate it when characters die. Maybe that's it. Okay. So that brick of a box had just one book in it. I don't know how many are in here. I can't remember how many books I was able to buy this time around. Okay. More effective packaging than this was. I mean, at least it's doing something. Just one book. Oh, it's not stuck. I looked at it and was like, this fits exactly in the box. They did crimp the cover on the back corner. I'm looking mad. This one is down. Yes. No. Yes, there it is. Morgan Newquist's Hellgate, The Neighborhood Watch. It's very pretty. This feels like a different kind of mat, actually. It's a little smoother. I don't know why that would be. Unless it's printed. I don't know why that would be, but it looks like the colors look much softer on here than they do on the screen. This one was fun. Do my thing. A paranormal suburban fantasy that throws a relatable female lead alongside two compelling romantic interests in a fight against a demon wolf. I really liked this one. Pretty fast-paced, if I remember correctly. Lots of raising the stakes. Off-white paper. There's a chapter heading. You see that this one doesn't have a lot of space. It's nice and it's not overly small, but it is filling the page. Sorry, I saw something on here. I was just seeing if it's Silver Empire published this. And so I'm looking at the lines. Sorry. I saw something that made me think that maybe they were doing some adjusting for orphans and widows, but I think it's just that they have why is that? So some of these, it must have just been how I was holding it. So they've got Silver Empire isn't around anymore, unfortunately. They're very small publisher. They have it so that the lines all match. So looking across the whole spread, all of the lines are matchy. And it seems like there's the same number of lines on each page. This is stuff that I thought about a lot last November. So it's fun to hold a book in your hands and think about that kind of stuff and look at it when you know that other people thought about it and looked at it, right? So I just, sorry, wandered into the weeds there. Yes, it's like you know how a lot of indies have, like, you have your hero and then you have monster after monster after monster, and they're all varied and cool, and this one just has the one, and it's just a bitch to kill. So it's instead of being like a series of encounters, it's like each one is, each time that they have to encounter this wolf, like the stakes are higher and higher. Just feels more tense because you're like, well, I already tried that, so what are they going to do next? Oh, bye, Eric. Have a good night. David could tell you, because he's the one who wrote the program to fix them. Everything, what, so last November, we did all kinds of stuff to programmatically make everything work. And I think David talked about it once on a stream, but I couldn't tell you which stream anymore. Probably one of the ones we did in December of that year. But it's all programmatic. So he made it so that with one click of a button, if like on this, I still don't have my author copies. Why? Because it wasn't December anymore. And I was like, okay, well, I'll order them in next November. But with this one, they sent it back to us and said that the text on the spine was too wide. So David was like, oh, okay. New book. Right. So they shrunk it down, and it just took a couple of clicks. At one point, we decided to adjust something. I think it had to do with orphans and widows. And that kind of thing can mess with your page count, right? New book. With the cover and everything automatically sized. So it really helps to have a programmer handle that kind of stuff. So I just said, well, this is what I think looks best, and he said okay, and he just made it work like that. Not that we have too much trouble in general. Like, you're only going to have one or two awkward things. The way that we decided to deal with it ourselves was, let me see if I can find a good example here. I just saw one. Every page starts at the same height, but it will add lines at the bottom in order to avoid awkwardness. Most pages are the same, right? It's not a huge deal. And that's only like adjusted by one, maybe two lines. And that's why it's a good idea to have more space at the bottom than at the top. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Things are going to be awkward. Like you have to choose which suboptimal thing, right? Add lines, and maybe nobody notices, maybe they do, right? Or have like a sentence break in the middle of the page. Like, what is going to be more annoying for a reader? So the way that we do the Christmas, this is the only one that I've done so far. So I'm going to speak as if I've done this many, many times, but I've only done it once. The way that I did this one and the way that I'm going to do this one for this year is I invite people that I have already reviewed to submit stories. And the reason that I do that is because I'm wanting to be able to confidently say that we like what this author has done before. Go read this other stuff, right? And I'm constantly reading more people to try and make that pool bigger, but like ultimately, this is how I'm trying to like my sort of first step towards sanity, right? Like if I just said open to whoever and send me stuff, I don't have that much time, right? So I try to narrow it down, and that's I feel like I need to defend myself here, but that's how I'm doing that, the sort of like narrowing the field first step. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a hard decision to make, right? Because like I want to support indies, and I want to support new authors and people who are doing cool and interesting things. And I know that there are people outside my circle who are doing that. I'm doing a lot of stuff to reach and to promote the new people all the time. So I shouldn't feel bad that I have to narrow the scope. But it's kind of the first cutoff for me, for myself, as like, because I will have to do reading all the submissions and then editing and working with the authors to polish things up and stuff. So if I say just people that I've already reviewed, I've already read their work. I already know a little bit about their voice and their voice, particularly in the way that they presented it in a published way. And I know kind of a baseline of where I'm going to be starting as an editor. So those are kind of the reasons that I do it that way. Oh, hi, John. Yeah, I missed your stream earlier and I felt really bad. Like I popped in just as they were signing up. Holy cow. That is everything that I had to unbox. Trying to think if there's anything else that I'm forgetting about. But I'm pretty sure I got everything. Yeah. Yep. I'll just pull this out again and remind you guys again that we will be doing the book club. And there's plenty of time. So get the book. This one came much faster than The Long Moonlight. I don't know why, but that one took forever to ship. So get a copy. Don't have to get the hardcover. Yep, get the ebook if you like. Just read it at your own pace. I have a gilded that I use. I set up primarily so that we could do discussions, text chat-based discussions of the book sort of while people are reading it. There's no like, make sure you read X chapter by this date. So the conversations are a little bit random, right? So, oh, this will be fun. That's gonna be fun. Yeah. This is the book club is another way that we're trying to promote stuff that we've actually read and can say concrete things about in a different way. It's fun to look at my review of a book and then look at John's or TJ's book review of the same book, right? And then sort of come together and talk about things and see where we have differences of opinion and get Royce's input on stuff. He has just a fresh take on things, and it's just a lot of us muddling through, right? Like what we our differences of opinion and trying to make sure that we're communicating what we think, what we are thinking clearly, and that's always good. And to be doing it about indies is productive and it's a fun way to be doing something as a community that is tangibly helping, I feel not just baseline retweeting an author, and not just helping the author, but also helping readers to discover stuff by having chatter about it, right? And then to also be doing something that is helpful for indies who are thinking about writing and thinking about the way that one person does something, like a technique, and then to hear people talk about the effect that had on them, especially if you've read the book, right? I feel like that's way more useful than just kind of a generic by so-and-so's book, he's one of us, right? You know? Yeah. He's he makes fun of himself for being like a slow reader, or somebody who isn't quote unquote a reader, but like he puts himself into it, right? Like he's not skimping, he's not lazy, he's doing the work. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. I wrenched my back this weekend, so I need to rest up and try and get better. And I need to mop up some water here. For those of you who weren't here, I epically spilled my drink. Luckily, in the direction of least harm. All right. Yeah. I need to come up with like a closing statement. Like, subscribe, check out my website, that kind of thing. But I still feel awkward about it. So you guys have a great night.